Definitely, I'll be sharing your this glimpse, not the entire, of course, a glimpse of the
Mm.
notes how you used to write, because what you have mentioned. It is a very big thing. Trust me, it is a very big thing which you have mentioned, especially for people who are not from the IT background.
Yes.
That when you start noting it down, what happens is that, of course, as you have mentioned, 1 hour video might take 4 hours. However, you will not require much of the revision because initially you started that you told that you had this background of mechanical engineering, you worked in the banking operations. uh, what I have seen generally is that when people are working in some other departments, they feel hesitant to take that step, to take that action, because people are scared of IT. People feel, oh, IT, I won't be able to understand it. A lot of people are scared of IT, and you have shown that additional extra courage of taking the these steps. I do you advise people, since you are from
Yes.
banking operations department, I do advise people taking this decision of giving the certification. Hello everyone, welcome to CISA-This-Much. This is Aditya, and today we have with us Mr. Danladi, who has recently qualified his CISA. So first of all, heartiest congratulations for passing the exam. And before we normally ask a lot of questions, so the first question is, how are you feeling? After passing this golden certification, CISA.
Uh, I'm feeling excited. I'm really very happy for passing the exams. At a point, it was looking as if it is not possible, but now it is possible, and I've seen the reality of it. I'm very, very excited, and even people around me too are very excited, especially my wife. She's very excited too, very happy.
Great, awesome. So, can you please introduce yourself, your background, and your experience background, your academic background, and what made you decide that okay, let me go for this certification. I want to give this exam. What made you choose this certification?
Okay, let me start by introducing my name. My full name is Danla D. Lazarus Tumba. Um, my discipline is mechanical engineering. I'm a certified mechanical engineer, and I lectured in a polytechnic before I joined my present working place. So, by profession, I'm a banker, and I work in as an operator in a bank. I've been in banking operation for so long. So, at a point, I felt that why doing the same thing over and over for a long period of time? Why not, have a change? Why not look for a kind of skills that is geographically marketable, that is sought for everywhere. So that was the motivation, and when I was looking for it, I discovered that IT is, you know I don't want to say the best, but is almost the best in the industry for now. IT is well sought for, the technical, the professional aspect of it, and you know um, the IS audit too is well sought for. So I said, let me see whether I can be one of the IT professionals. So when I was working in my organization, at the point, one of my friend Ariel, who we started together, who were doing the same banking operation job. One day I was checking the system, I saw his profile in compliance, one of our head office departments. I was very excited. I was, what happened? What can be the reason why Ariel is in compliance and I am still in banking operation? So I called him and he told me that it was because he passed CISA. Because he passed CISA, he had this edge to move to head office department. So that was how I started, having the motivation. And that was how I started looking for information about CISA. And this, I think, happened around August last year. It happened around August last year. So that was how I started looking for information, and that was ultimately what led to, me looking for CISA-This-Much, and studying it hard. And as you said, within a very short while, I give it my time a lot, and I pass it. And today I'm a CISA, certified professional. Thank you.
That's a great introduction. I'm actually very much inspired by a journey, because there are so many things which you have mentioned. Initially, you started that you told that you had this background of mechanical engineering. You worked in the banking operations. Uh, what I have seen generally is that when people are working in some other departments, they feel hesitant to take that step, to take that action, because people are scared of IT. People feel, oh, IT, I won't be able to understand it. A lot of people are scared of IT, and you have shown that additional extra courage of taking the these steps. Like when you thought, didn't you have these thoughts that whether I'll be able to justify, whether I'll be able to understand? Because even though you have seen a person in your same company who is working in some other department, compliance department, who has done CISA, he was also working in the same operations. He qualified CISA, he got there. But then sometimes we are hesitant to take that decision of, okay, no, let me also take this risk, and let me also just jump into this, and let me also get into this field. And taking that decision, and clearing within a short span of time, that is a very huge achievement. So I have two questions to you. The first question is that were you scared of taking this decision? I mean, of course, when I say you're scared, it means that whether you had this kind of thought, okay, everything is going fine, let me stay here, why to take these things, why to give the exam and all those. Did you have those kind of thoughts? Number two, second question is, do you also advise people who are working in this banking operations, there is a scope in the GRC, do you advise them to go for this certification and get into this department?
All right. Thank you. The first question first. You talked about whether I was scared starting the CISA qualification. When I heard about it from my friend, as I told you earlier, I first, I was looking for information. So I told myself, let me first purchase the CISA manual. The manual will have like a kind of, the the syllabus, of what you need to study to pass CISA. Let me put it this way. So I purchased the 27 edition of the CISA review manual. So that was like some weeks after I've discussed with him. After I discussed about the CISA, whatever, after he told me that he passed CISA, and that was what gave him an edge. So I purchased the CISA review manual 27 edition. It took me like 3 months to pass through. I know, being a person that is not of IT background, it was at a point it was looking like another language to me when I was reading the manual. It was really very difficult. It took me 3 months to go from the beginning to the end. But the reading was very skeletal, and it was really scary, as you said. But I just told myself that if another person can do, Aladdin, you too can do. And that was how I started another round of the reading of the manual again. And this time it took me like, I think, almost 5 months to read through the manual. I know, reading through the manual, I was not like taking questions or doing any serious thing, just to have the background of IT, just to have the idea of some of, like some words. If I'm reading it now, if I come across some words, I'll go to dictionary, I'll go to YouTube and check the meaning of those words. It was really not an easy one. So it was really scary, but when I started picking after the second reading, I discovered that it's something that you can do. That I just encouraged myself, and after the second reading now, that was when I discussed with him. that this is the step I've taken so far. And he advised me to go for your material. He said, "Tom, I know you've maybe gotten a kind of skeletal background, but go for CISA this much. If you can get CISA this much," that was what prepared me. He told me that that was what prepared him to pass the exams. So I said, okay, let me give you a trial. And that was when I contacted you that time and subscribed to the material. And that is just the end of the story. If I know, I started reading the material. As I'm reading the material and the way you are explaining everything, making everything easy, I started picking more and more interest. So at a point, I collected leave from my organization 1 month. That 1 month, I spent the 1 month in my house. In fact, I can't remember whether I went out up to 5 times. I was just doing continuous reading, and that was, when I, got to, get everything right, before finally I took the exams.
That's a really inspiring journey, And how many hours you used to study? Like, when you say you were uh, like consistently watching the lectures and you were too,
Mm,
engrossed with watching, you were interested because there are two things.
mm,
There can be one person who's watching the lectures
mm.
just for the sake of passing the exam. There is other person who watch the lectures and they enjoys the process. And the person who enjoys the process, the person who is engrossed in the studies part, that he's the person who is who can create some magic in their performance. So I mean, how many hours you used to devote every day?
Okay, since before I, started, using your material, I the hours I take every day is not, sometimes I can spend 1 week without even opening the book, truly. So I don't even count those periods. I think I started reading CISA well when I got your material. And when I got your material, if I'm going to work, I make sure I do it like 4 hours in the evening. Then sometimes in the morning, I wake up and do 2 hours before I go to work. So in a day, I do average of, let me say, 5 hours on average in a day. But the time I took the leave, that 1 month leave I took and stayed at home, in fact, I think I study more than 12 hours a day. Because what I do is just to eat highest. If I want to watch football, I want to watch maybe 1 or 2 games, I'll watch maybe sometimes listen to news and continue reading. So at a point, I was doing continuous reading. It just removed some few time. I listened to some TV programs and sleeping. But everything, I was just doing continuous reading. And very important, you know, um, I forgot. I'm in the office now. I suppose I'll bring my materials for you. Actually, I was writing a lot. I told myself the fact that Daladi, you are not, you don't have IT background. You need to write a lot for reference. So, in fact, if you make a video of 1 hour now, because of me writing, I studied that video for like 4 hours.
Oh.
The remaining 3 hours, I write a lot. Sometimes I have to be reversing the video. I have to rewind it so that I can, get to write, what you are saying. So I feel like 60 leaf notebook, 5 of them for domain 1 to 5. In fact, domain 5, because of the amendment, the amendment in domain 5 was much.
Much.
So I filled another book for domain amendment 2. Then the MCQ booster series, I filled another book. So I was writing a lot. And that was why that was why I went through the material once. So at a point, what I was revising is just my books, and it actually helped me a lot. It helped me a lot.
That's, I mean, I'm really surprised. I mean, this is something I'll keep. I mean, I would love, like, if you can, share some of the glimpse of the notes which you have prepared. Definitely, I'll be sharing your this, glimpse, not the entire, of course, the glimpse of the
Mm,
notes how you used to write, because what you have mentioned, it is a very big thing. Trust me, it is a very big thing which you have mentioned, especially for people who are not from the IT background.
yes.
That, when you start noting it down, what happens is that, of course, as you have mentioned, 1 hour video might take 4 hours. However, you will not require much of the revision, because when you are writing those things, each and every small points gets inside your head.
Yes,
You
yes.
never know when one point, one or two things which you have mentioned, which you have written, those things can help you in solving the questions. You will not realize when you're writing it down, but the time when you are solving the questions, the time when you are in the exam hall, that time you realize, why my concepts are very much clear is because I have noted each and every things, and it's not at all easy. Again, I'm saying this on camera. What he has mentioned, it's a big thing. I can understand, a person can understand who has written down things, how much efforts it takes, how much time it takes. 1 hour video, people think of watching that 1 hour video at 2x speed. And they have that, like, if it's a 1 hour lecture, let me finish in 30 minutes. There are people like that also. They want to listen to the lecture at 2x speed. And when you have mentioned that for 1 hour you were taking like 4 hours, I mean, that's really unbelievable. I mean, that is, I'm not, exaggerating. It is the reality. It takes huge efforts, in doing that. And kudos to you for, noting things down. And, as you mentioned, like one book for MCQ Blockbuster, one book for amendments. I know domain 5 amendments for too huge.
Uh,
I don't know whether because I mean there was a time when I had to think whether should I take some shortcut. Domain 5 approx 15 hours, it runs into 15 hours of content for the amendments. It is
yes,
too huge.
yes, yes,
But I thought, even if it takes 15 hours, let me do something. If a person watch that videos, they'll never be forgetting those concepts for sure. And these topics are very important in the industry. Today or tomorrow, anyways, we will have to get deeper understanding of these areas. So I thought, whatever the world says, I don't care. I can finish that in just 5 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, whatever. However, that will not justify myself teaching the lectures, because if I take a shortcut route, and if I, okay, just for the sake of finishing the things, that will not work, for the benefit of the person who is investing the time in watching those lectures. So kudos to you for that. I mean,
thank you very much. Thank you.
that's I mean, this is the first time someone have told me that they have made one book for this thing, one book for this. Oh my god. Okay, but I mean, I would request you, if you can share some glimpse. Trust me, it will motivate a lot of people, especially people, it will give them the idea, okay, this is also one of the ways through which you can get a good grip over the concepts.
Yes, yes,
Really great. And yeah, so that one question which was pending for you to be answering is that, like, do you advise people, since you are from the
yes.
banking operations department, like, do you advise people taking this decision of, giving this certification? A lot of people from, in India as well as, out of India, they do inquire us saying that, do you think opportunity, like they ask us, okay, whether there is opportunity in this GRC role, in this audit role, internal audit role, external audit role, whether there is scope, whether CISA will add value to my profile, whether do I need to invest my time here. So what advice you would like to give to these people?
Um, Quite okay. I've started advising people already. Let me put it this way. Like my, the challenge is a lot of people are not too aware of the importance of CISA. Let me put it this way. A lot of people. In fact, there are some people in my office, when I told them when I was happy and I told them that they would like ask naturally, why are you happy? If I say it's because I cleared CISA, some people will be like, what is CISA? What is, and what will you do after clearing the CISA? Yeah, some of them will be like, hey, Dalad, you writing exams. Which one is CISA again? But truly they are not aware. But me now, the short time that I pass CISA, my discussion with people and what people said about it, in fact, I'm very, very happy. In fact, when I try to, there's this tuition reform that you do after you pass exams. When I call people in IS audit in my organization, When I called them, a lot of them were like, "Ah, congratulations!" The way they congratulated me, I was very happy. In fact, some of them were like, "You come and join us. You come and join us." And you know that if you are in those kind of department, your remuneration will be far better than what you are earning. So truly, if you see somebody that would not like that kind of qualification, it's because he's not aware. The awareness is low. So we try as much as possible and create awareness so that people can, can like such kind of, very important, qualifications. In organizations, people are not aware that, this kind of exams is doable and this kind of exam is very important. So it's ignorance, let me put it this way. But already I've started advising people around me. And I'm sure if people see what I will gain from this qualification, a lot of people will be motivated. So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure we will talk. We will have a discussion about some people that are very interested. I will have to refer them to you because really your material is one-stop solution to passing CISA. As I'm talking to you now, I don't know how question and answers look for CISA. I only study manual and your material, and that's all. I did not study any other thing. In fact, your material has given me all the things that I need. In fact, when I went through the mock, I can see how confidence come into my body that yes, Stella, you can pass CISA. What I do is after I finish writing the mock, of course, you may not pass the way you want to pass. But what I will do is I will go over the question, especially the ones I failed. I'll check them very well and I know the reason why I failed. So that when next I'm writing another mock exams, or so that I can prepare myself well for the main exams. And that thing helped me a lot. I'm very, very grateful. Your
Thank you so
material
much.
is really one-stop solution to discuss. Really.
Thank,
That was why after the CISA, I asked you. I said, "Do you also offer CISM and series that I want to do?" But you say, unfortunately, that you're about doing those ones. So I'm waiting.
we are, we are
Thank
working
you.
we
Thank
are, we are
you.
working on that, and of
Thank
course,
you.
once we have that, definitely you'll be knowing about it. And really
Yes.
thank you for your kind words, and trust me, I whatever you say, but for me, the biggest thing is that you have put those hard work, and I see, only I can see that. I mean, it's something not everyone will understand, when I say that he has worked so hard, and whatever things you have mentioned, only that person can mention who has actually worked that hard, who has put in those additional efforts. You have also mentioned at the start of this interview session that even your wife, your family is happy. So what role they have played in your success? I understand that when you are in this journey of 3 months or 4 months or 5 months or 6 months, whatever, you know your family also plays a vital role in your success. They support you, they motivate you. No, no, you can do it, come on, because now you are you have your personal life, you have your weekends. In the weekends you are studying, your family is watching you, you taking down notes, you doing those additional hard works. They see you, they get motivated from your hard work. So what role they have played in your success?
Uh, that is a very important question. And I would like to share that too. Because my wife was very, very supportive from the beginning to the end. Coincidentally, when I took the 1 month leave, she was also at home because she worked in a school and they used to have, terminal break. She was also at home. I know how the study inconvenienced her, but she was very happy because I used to share, the importance of the certification with her. So she was laterally encouraging me. She was encouraging me. She tried to see how I can keep on the reading. At a point she was like, "Now, which kind of exam do I want to write like this that I'm studying too hard like this?" So I have to explain things to her for her to understand. I know sometimes I inconvenience them too. I will go to the parlor and say, the volume of the TV is high. Please lower it. And happily she will lower it. You say sorry. You say sorry, my husband. But at the end she was very happy. In fact, when I passed the exam, she was the one that took me out. So I will take you out today to celebrate. these exams. So my wife and my entire family were very supportive, and they were very happy. In fact, she have to share it on her family group. Her family group, she shared it that my husband has passed this exam that I've been talking about. Meaning she has been talking about the exams to them. In fact, my family was very, very supporting. And even because of my wife, I have to pass the exams. I told myself, I have to pass the exams. I don't want to come back with a story. That was what I told myself. So I was only hard. Part of it was I don't want to disappoint her.
That's
Thank you.
that's a great feeling. That's a great feeling. You know, all your efforts, have given the results, and everyone was happy beside you. All right. So my okay, I've asked you a lot of questions. So any last piece of advice you would like to give to people who are watching your interview? They are the CISA aspirants. I know people sometimes, as a full-time working professional, they feel difficult to devote time. They have their own challenges. They have a lot of work pressure. They have other responsibilities, commitments, and but they want to clear this exam. They look for motivations from these interviews. They look for people like you who have worked so hard, who's motivating these people. They look up to you. So any last piece of advice you would like to give to these people?
All right. There is this say that determination today leads to success tomorrow. In fact, during our university days, there's one of my colleagues, one of my roommates that used to paste close to his reading place, that determination today leads to success tomorrow. The truth is that CISA is a kind of exams that you have to be determined in order to succeed. You have to be determined, and it comes sometimes at a cost. Because of CISA exams, I could not travel for Christmas this year. It has cost me the Christmas. But you have to look at the value of what you're going for. It's what the sacrifice. So saying that because of this you cannot read, but some people are doing it. Some people that are even older than you, some people that are even younger than you, some people that are even busier than you in their place of work are doing the exams. Just get yourself determined and have this can do spirit that yes, I want to do it and I can do it. Before you know, success will be a portion. And that was what happened to me. At a point, there are a lot of discouragement. In fact, when I started your series, when I was in the middle, I was like, this thing is too difficult. And sometimes when you're watching the videos, you'll be like, this thing, are you sure? I will be able to understand this thing and pass these CISA exams. But if you encourage yourself, if you keep on pressing, before you know, you have the confidence and you be like, yes, I can write and pass these exams. So I think it's more of have the can do spirit first and encourage yourself. Have this self motivation, and it's possible. It's possible. If somebody like me that is not from IT background can do it, everybody can do it. That's what it means. Thank you.
That's a very beautiful piece of advice, and I'm literally overwhelmed, by your interview. A lot of beautiful things you have mentioned, because what happens is that when I take interviews, I try to see unique points, in each and everyone's efforts, their journey, their challenges, their success methods, and you have literally mentioned lot of such mantras, which definitely will help a lot of people who are watching this interview. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, and I wish you all the very best for your future. Again, I really enjoyed, I normally don't say this, but very few interviews I really enjoy, and your interview is one of them. And I literally, there's so many things which you mentioned, and you don't even know. So deep, and so if someone is listening, if someone will listen to your entire journey, trust me, that person will be able to link with what you're saying. Some words really, And just last piece of advice from my side to everyone, as he mentioned that sometimes you have to sacrifice, but then what you need to see is that what value I'm getting by sacrificing something. Okay, so when you look at the value, when you say, okay, there is something bigger I'll be getting with the sacrifice, you'll be able to sacrifice. When you don't see value in doing something, then you will not be able to sacrifice, because for in that case, what your mind will say, no, let me not sacrifice because this is valuable too. So you need to think in this way, and trust me, even if you apply 10% of his strategies, what he has mentioned, trust me, it will make a big difference in your overall journey. So thank you so much once again.